All right, good evening, football fans, and welcome to this Channel 2 production of football. It is the visiting Park Rapids area Panthers against your home Pelican Rapids Vikings. Here at Channel 2, I'm Logan Nor alongside my co-anchor. On homecoming night, we have alumnus Lucas Verdorn, class of 2025, with us today. How you doing, Lucas?
Oh, doing great, just having a good time. Great night for Friday Night Lights, Got a little drizzle early in the morning.
Absolutely. It was drizzly all day, and just like a Sunday afternoon at the lake, the sun has come out. The rain is gone. A beautiful one to watch some football. Might be a little slick, a little bit muddy down there on the field. However, I think the ball will be able to fly tonight from the quarterbacks here, both from Park Rapids and Pelican.
And with that, we're going to need some big yards from Bricker Hogard. He's had a great year so far. From last year to this year, it's been a giant step that he's looking like prime Cam Scadwell out there in Arizona State.
Bricker Hogard, the junior for Pelican Rapids, one of the watch list players here tonight. Alongside, on the other side, you'll have the running back, number 6, Parker Hunter from Park Rapids. Plenty of returning members of both teams who faced off in the season finale for both of these teams last year. Lucas, you were on the field for that game. It was
Yes.
a 15-12 thriller that ended up in a Vikings victory. It was a Hail Mary into the end zone. It was Carter Hurt trying to find, I believe it was Ryan Carroll in the back corner.
Trayvon Benson coming with that pick.
Exactly.
I still remember that
Trayvon
play.
Benson picked it off, and so plenty of history between the players on the field. There's some new faces that are key players to both sides, but they are announcing the starting lineups for both sides. We'll do the same. They're going down here with the Pelican Rapids Vikings first. What we have is number 0. That looks like Ethan Eisman. I believe number 1, Aiden Checo D'Souza. Number 4, Bricker Haugrud. Number 5, McLean Hovland. Number 8, Miguel Torres. Number 10,
Calvin Norton.
That way, Calvin Norton. Number 18. You're going to be better at this. This is the worst part of doing football. I tell you what, you cannot tell who it is from down here. Number 18, V. Who is that?
That is CJ Fay, and right behind him is Levi Hillica. And we have Harley Jacob, number 66. 72 looks like Roscoe Stubbs. Can't miss that guy. He's a big man.
Absolutely.
And
a lot
78 is finally Edwin Escobar.
Edwin Escobar, one of the returning members of this line after quite a turnover from last season's line for Pelican Rapids, which it is game 4 though, so we don't need to talk about last season too much, but those young guys ready to bring the offense out on the field here for Pelican Rapids. For the offense of Park Rapids, they're going to start out with their quarterback, number 2, Carter Hurt, running back Parker Hunter, the other running back, Jaden Whalen. He is a senior who is really important to mention. He will not be playing tonight. Well, that's what the coach told me this morning, unless he was trying to give me scouting report information to throw us off. We believe that senior Jaden Whalen will not be playing. That's important. He broke out a huge touchdown against us last year as a junior.
Yep.
And so that is a huge miss for Park Rapids tonight. Anyway, continuing here, we have the wide receiver, number 4, Caden Gardner, the right tackle, number 55, Braden Price, right guard, Charlie Johnson, number 63, the center, Brendan Carlson, a freshman who is the center of the huddle here today, left guard, Jaden Davis, a sophomore, left tackle, Brady Hurt, a junior, and then on the other side of the backfield, we have Andy Johanning, Corbin Schiller, Mason McCarthy, and Dominic Pope. They are looking ready to kick it off. It's going to be Jimmy Salazar. Vikings decide to kick or lose the toss or something or another. Either way, it's Black kicking to the south. Salazar,
Boom.
and you can say boom to take away the trademark from Paul Allen. Here we go, Verdorn, first play. Looks like it is number 4, Caden Gardner, getting that kickoff at about the 25. He goes sideways and nowhere else. Tackled there at the 25-yard line. That's where Carter Hurt and the Park Rapids Panthers will take over.
Mark Royston coming out of that pile. There's a load of Vikings going that play there. That's fun to see. I love kickoff. That's a great way to start a game.
Mark Royston, I believe, a sophomore this year, coming in playing on special teams. So nice play by him. And when you think about this team here, it's completely different than the team that you noted here last year, Lucas Verdorn. Some of the key seniors that they lost on the defensive end, just to name a few, I was looking at Viking points, which is something that Coach Beachy talks about. It's a culmination of all the defensive statistics. It's tackles, sacks, pressures, knockdowns, all of that. Do you know how that was calculated back when you were playing?
So I personally don't. I know it was Colin Hovland doing all the stats up here, and he was working hard, getting all the stats, getting all the deflections, tackles, solo tackles, assisted tackles. And Hopefully you were working on that because I don't know the formula for that. I'm
No,
not
it's
gonna
all
lie.
good. I'll take it from here, math teacher. First, it's Parker Hunter running through the middle. It's a gain of 6. Nice run by Parker Hunter, and that'll be 2nd and 4 now. But we noticed, I did look, I wasn't able to reverse engineer the algorithm, but what I was able to do was notice that the top 4 producers for the Vikings last year, sorry to say your name wasn't on the list,
No,
Verdorn, but it was up there. It was up there.
No shade taken.
They're all
no shade
gone.
taken.
Channing Russman, Trayvon Benson, Kapinga, that would be Jack Kapinga and Jack Bergquist. They were all gone for these Vikings. So it is a completely new defense as far as production. And that was a huge play, a tackle for a loss by the Vikings in the background. I was going to say, who did they credit for the tackle there? I was hoping.
I think it was Miguel Torres.
They're going to give it to Miguel Torres, the senior inside, the linebacker, number 8.
And I will give a shout out to McLean. He's like the quarterback of this defense. I remember last year he's directing. He knows everybody's jobs at the right time, the right moment.
Absolutely. McLean guarding the slot on the top side of your screen right now, and it's a sack in the backfield. Is that Harley
That is Harley Jacobson.
Huge play from the senior on the right end, coming around on his blind side, taking him down. Huge start. I was talking about the nerves of this team and having a young team, and talk about a way to start for the Vikings, forcing a 3-and-out against the Panthers.
I think they're riding the high from the last week's game of the win off of Thief River.
Absolutely. The Vikings have a little bit of momentum now after getting the win against the Thief River Falls Prowlers. They are 1-2 on the season. Lost their first 2 games against Holly first, then Barnesville. So Vikings had a hard time getting momentum against 2 very good teams to start the year. Got some confidence against Thief River. They're hoping to set the tone here against Park Rapids.
That is HOL football for you, though. Grinders. So that's the name of the game there. Like for Barnesville, they would pull ahead, but Pelican would never quit. Their guys kept making plays at the right time.
Absolutely, and Barnesville's always been a tough team that you circle on the schedule every year. You know it's going to be tough, but when you think about how the Vikings played in that game, it was 44-36. High-scoring affair, which usually doesn't happen when you play Power T or whatever you call it, full house. What is it called? I don't even know. But Barnesville able to score 44 points over our 36. Ethan Eisman's going to take this punt here, and he's going to make a man miss initially. Now he grinds forward for about 5 after catching it at the 40. He's down at the 35, and there's Parker Hunter one more time, finally able to corral him inside. Here's where the Vikings will take over at the 35-yard line of Park Rapids. Great field position to start, and Grady Larson's going to walk this offense out on the field.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Parker Hunter is committed to MSUM. For, I think, outside backer, I believe.
And I would not be surprised. Parker Hunter was the main person. I had a chance to talk to Coach Nordic before, actually via email here earlier this morning. We were sending emails back and forth about what we were thinking about this game. He was super gracious to give me information, and he said, you're going to hear Parker Hunter's name all night. You're going to be saying Parker Hunter's name, and that is true. And tonight I'm going to say Miguel Torres' name one more time, as that 15-yard strike from Larson is good. Great way to start for the offense here, moving the chains right away. But Parker Hunter, an MSUM commit, and a lot of these names of Park Rapids very similar, minus Ryan Carroll, who we know is now a freshman at Bemidji State playing football as well. So really cool. Credit to Coach Nordic over there, getting college-level talent out of his program.
A lot of good athletes over there, just
and that was a mutual feeling from Coach Nordic as well. He said the athletes that Pelican Rapids produces as well is very formidable, and we're really excited about this game. So far, Vikings offense clicks. Eisenman this time catching the 5-yard out, turning up seamlessly. I believe it'll be 2nd down and 3 after a quick pickup of 7 on 1st down.
I will say Grady has showed a lot of captain material. He's just been on them. I know I've heard some stories that he's making them run at practice, and they're just shaking their head at Grady, but that's the kind of kid he is, and he's great to see.
And there he does, takes it up the middle and drives forward to move the chains. That's exactly what the doctor ordered there. Needed 3, got 4. Grady Larson, 1st down, Pelican Rapids. And that's exactly the move that needs to be made when you go from a sophomore, and all of a sudden when you become a junior, you start to realize, hey, whoa, I'm older than these guys now.
Yeah.
Grady Larson for years and years has talked about this player coming up, this guy who has so much talent. He's bigger than all of the people in his grade. He's going to be a horse, and that's a lot of expectations to live up to, and now he's in the position where he has to be the guy, and he has to be the vocal leader as well. He's taken that role on well.
Yep.
Larson out of the shotgun set here. Right beside him is number 1, Aiden Checo D'Souza. Instead, they'll throw it out to the flat here, just a little bubble. You could say a screen. No one really blocked for him. It was just a little isolation toss out there to Eisenman. Eisenman is a little shifty, scoots forward, gets a gain of a couple, maybe 4. It's going to be 2nd and goal now on the 6-yard line. Vikings reset the chains right on the 10. And they got 3 more opportunities to get it into the end zone. Pressing here on their first drive. It will be Larson one more time, shotgun. Checo D'Souza beside him in the shotgun. It's a little tight bunch formation. Again to Eisman. This time Torres blocking for him. He's got the edge. Pylon. Touchdown. Wasn't touched. Ethan Eisenman, Vikings 6. Park Rapids 0. 8 to go in the first quarter.
Credit to Miguel there. That was a great block on the side there.
Absolutely.
One-on-one contained his guy.
Larson made the toss. Eisman made the catch and run, but it was Torres pancaking his guy into what looked like the back of the end zone to make that a guaranteed touchdown. Well done by the senior Torres.
That's a huddle clip.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Put that on a little hype video. JP in the battle for PR, Pelican Rapids 6. And we'll see if Salazar can make it 7 here. Jimmy Salazar, the sophomore now. McLean Hovland holds. Down, spot up, line drive, kick. Somehow got over the lineman laying on the ground, snuck over and snuck over the upright. So nicely done there. And someone on the scoreboard wants to say that's worth 2 points, but it is only worth 1. So it says Vikings 8, Panthers 0, but it is 7-0 Pelican Rapids. And yes, they'll fix it. So I get the squabbles here from the next door. I talk a little bit loud. Let's close the store a little bit. I know I'm a loud talker here. But Verdorn, what are your thoughts there on that first drive from Pelican Rapids?
Very, very fast. Really stormed down the field. They had a bunch of chunk plays. I don't think I saw a negative play there. And
absolutely, that's very consistent. Grady Larson, if I had to think about it, pass to Torres, couple passes to Eisenman. I believe he might have been 4 for 4 on that drive, right, for probably about 30 yards.
Knock on wood there.
4 for 4 for 30 yards and a touchdown. So Larson really picking up where he left off against Thief River Falls. If you look at his statistics throughout this year here, he is 64 for 120. That's a completion percentage of 53%. He would not be happy with that if you looked at his last season numbers. He was in the 60s%. But if you look at Thief River Falls last week, 23 for 36, right back where he left off.
Oh, muff.
And well, that was crazy. A muff kick momentarily, or it was loose. It was finally picked up there by number 13. Let's see if we can make sure to find that. That's Dominic Pope. And it looked very dangerous, like it was going to be a fumble and a chance for the Vikings to recover. Laying a lick on Pope. Did you see who that was coming in?
Checo, a speedster.
Number 1, Aiden Checo D'Souza coming in to try and lay a lick and maybe jar that ball loose. Nice job, honestly, by Dominic Pope to keep that with Park Rapids. They're going to get the ball at the 20 after a short kick from Salazar, almost like a squib kick, you could say.
Checo reminds me a lot of Pacheco from the Chiefs. Runs like he hates the ground.
It's hurt. Handing off to Parker Hunter. No space up front. Nicely done by the Vikings staff. It's going to be, looks like in the pile is number 6. Oh, no, excuse me, 5. That is McLean Hovland, aforementioned senior who is playing a little bit of, you could say, defensive back. He kind of comes up closer like maybe a strong safety position. And so it was McLean Hovland with a nice tackle there against Parker Hunter, who we mentioned would be seen on both sides of the ball. And that right now, it looks like the Vikings, something that you can credit, no matter how skilled your backfield is, something that was mentioned by Coach Nordic was that they are working on improving with the youth of their front line. So their front line is a lot of turnover, just like the Vikings. And so far, the Vikings front line maybe is winning that battle up front. But it is now number 7. That's gonna be no fumble there. It was down by contact. Andy Johanning catching a crossing route over the middle, turning it up, making a man miss or breaking a tackle, and rolling forward for a first down. 39-yard lines where they're gonna spot it. They got 15 on that play. Nicely done, Park Rapids.
That was a good tackle by CJ Fay though. He's really saved a touchdown there. If he didn't make that tackle, I think that's a scoop and score if he never fumbled.
Yeah, it is an explosive offense. The Park Rapids, like I mentioned, the skill of their backfield is dangerous. If they can get into open space and break a couple tackles, they're in trouble. The Vikings are in trouble. Parker Hunter is bottled up there. That's what the Vikings need to do, is contain these skilled guys. A host of Vikings, I think Edwin Escobar will get credit for, along with, it might have been an assisted tackle, but Edwin Escobar, one of the men in the mix there on the right side. Looking across this front line, they looks like they're having 2 down linemen and 2 kind of ends right here. I think I see Calvin Norton, Roscoe Stubbs, Edwin Escobar, and Harley Jacobson working as the front 4 for the Vikings. That is, looks like a senior and 3 juniors, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
V. They're Harley Jacobson, the senior, and the other 3 at the junior level. So even though the Vikings have some youth, they're still not completely outmatched here at the level they're at.
This whole team has put so much work in the offseason. I know Beachy's been working with them all offseason. Even during basketball season, he was on all of them.
And that's been a really good part of the Pelican Rapids programs lately, is the school has made investments into weight room training and just the athletic programs in general to get the consistent working out where, when I was going through school back in the Stone Ages, it wasn't too long ago, but we did not have nearly the strength programming that we have right now. And it is paying off for these Vikings. And, you have to do it now. Every single school is lifting at a high level. And so if you don't, you're going to be in a lot of trouble when you start to face some of these teams in the Heart of Lakes Conference.
Which is hard to do because you're doing 3 different sports on top of that. And it gets to be a lot. But, these guys have definitely pushed through. And
Carter hurt 9 route against that, trying to go to number 4. A lot of contact there from Checo D'Souza, but it's going to fall incomplete, hitting the top of the helmet of Caden Gartner. And I tell you what, if that was right in front of the Parker Rapids bench, I think we would have seen some more jeering from the coaching staff. Checo D'Souza kind of ran into that is Gartner and kind of face guarded him a little bit where there was contact and did not look around for the football. That's kind of, if you're in the NFL, they're going to call that 10 times out of 10. They did not this time. Vikings probably get away with one right there.
That'll happen with a young team, though. You will make mistakes.
Well, absolutely, and if you are the Park Rapids Panthers, it looks like they are not a team that's going to be able to ground and pound with the youth of their line, so they're going to try and get shots, quick hits, 9 routes, test the outside of the Vikings, and they're trying to pick on Checo D'Souza that time, and it looked like Checo D'Souza got away with it. And this one's incomplete over the middle. Hovland was in coverage there. They were trying to cross it over here to number 11, Corbin Schiller. So it is now 4th down. They're around midfield. They're going to set up in punt formation. And on their own 40, they're going to kick it back to both Checo D'Souza and Eisenman. We'll see if they try and shade it a specific way or not. It is Hurt who punts. A nice punt indeed. Gets a bounce. Eisenman picks it up at the 15. And I was almost confused. I saw that pylon. Eisenman goes all the way to the right, then all the way to the left. Makes a man miss up here. Now he's moving. At the 20, the 30, now 40. There's a flag in the back. It might be coming back. Eisenman has space. We'll see what happens. One man to beat. He gets a block from C.J. Fay, and he's in for now. Let's see what the flag is. And it seems like there's no energy in the building as they have a feeling they know this might be coming back.
Always hate to see some laundry on the field, especially after play like that.
Yeah, you just know when a guy goes across the field and then back, you're setting yourself up for all kinds of holding or illegal blocks in the back, and everyone is walking backwards. I did not see. There's the white hat right there. Personal foul. Probably illegal blindside block. Is that what that is?
I've never seen that.
I've never seen that signal in my life. It was a personal foul, though. So when I think of a personal foul, the only thing I can think of is it was probably some kind of a blindside block there on a Vikings player.
Contact to the head, maybe?
Potentially, yes. That could be part of it, is there was maybe a targeting involved. And looks like I have no clue if it was Calvin Norton here. But Calvin Norton came off the field. I'm not sure. Does he play on the offensive side, or maybe he's just coming off the field? I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate who. No, I literally have no clue. Yeah. So you guys should go back and see if you can find on the tape where that was. But we're hoping that this personal foul doesn't take anyone out of the game. I haven't heard anything like that. I doubt it. They probably would have made a bigger deal about who was ejected or who what or whatever. But anyway, an illegal block sends the Vikings back after what would have been a punt return touchdown. And Park Rapids had one of those in their meeting with us last year. And so the Vikings are backed up, and an incomplete pass. First incompletion of Grady Larson's day after I talked about how he hadn't missed. Bricker Haugerud not ready for that on a little flat toss.
I will give Bricker the benefit of the doubt. He does have a fractured wrist, I know, and he's got some thumb issues on the other hand. So he's all protected.
Well,
up
it's
there.
okay. It's okay. We don't need to throw any shade. I think it was a little bit maybe behind him or something. The way he flailed at it kind of made it look like there was no chance. A little high, but it's fine. We're good. So
even the GOAT makes mistakes. Tom Brady was never perfect.
Tom Brady is not perfect. He encourages people to get the first down though. Grady Larson. In motion was going to be Ethan Eisman. There was jumping up front, and it's going to be on Park Rapids. Looks like they had a jump in the neutral zone from a tackle. If I had to guess, it was number 65, Charlie Johnson. The sophomore gets tagged with a penalty, and that's big. That makes it from 2nd and 10 now to 2nd and more manageable. 5 to go to move the sticks. As the Vikings maybe set up that same play. We'll see. Yep, they send Eisman in motion to the left. Looks like they're going to hand it off back to, they sent Eisman in motion to the right, hand it back off to Haugerud in the left. Little counter play, misdirection, and nothing doing to go still. Just a 1-yard gain from Haugerud.
Haugerud's really north and south. He really puts his head down and goes through people.
Absolutely. Bricker Haugerud's kind of been that watch list player on the running game for the Vikings, been the leading rusher for Pelican Rapids. When I take a look at the 2025 season statistics, he has 52 carries before this game, 233 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions. So he's really a go-to guy when it comes to running the ball. Torres, highly contested. 2 flags fly in. Torres' catch would make a first down, but they are talking things over. We'll see what they're calling. Looks like a holding on the Vikings.
I will say I have noticed from the Holly game to this game, they've really tried to slow Grady down to keep his composure. I know he gets all worked up. Even I remember he was in the huddle. He just starts shaking. You can't really understand him, but it seems he's hold his composure.
Some really so Larson is able to try and reset this offense here now when it's 3rd and 13. Unfortunately, that was a really heavily contested crossing route here, but Larson did not get it to go because of the hold inside. So 3rd and 13. We'll see if he can find some time here. He does. Catches Eisman on a crosser. Oh, off his hands. Well covered there by number 7 of Park Rapids. Let's take a look here. That is Andy Johanning on the coverage. Really, Eisman had nowhere to go even if he does catch it. So a couple key penalties are the result of that stifled drive, right? It would have been a punt return touchdown for Eisman. Penalty brought it back. They had an opportunity to move the chains. Penalties brought it back. So just like the importance of penalties, right, and how that can really just destroy any momentum.
I do remember last year, our same night, homecoming night, penalties were a big factor in that game.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things, just like turnovers, if you just penalize yourself to where you cannot continue to move forward, you're going to run into trouble no matter what you do. So Vikings fail there on that drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it back away. If you're just joining us, 7-0 is our score. Pelican Rapids 7, Park Rapids 0, 4:39 to go in the first quarter. Coming out of the timeout now, looks like Miguel Torres walking back here to punt things away. Gunners over here, we take a look. On our left side, Calvin Norton in the slot looking to go down and get to Parker Hunter, who's going to try and take this punt. Wobbly punt, bounces at the 47, then caroms hard left into the Park Rapids bench. Right at midfield it will be. This is where the Panthers will start their drive here at the 50-yard line. And I don't know if you remember the Pelican Rapids. This is very similar to how the Pelican Rapids game started last year against Park Rapids. They came out to a quick touchdown and then a couple drives and then just nothing happened the rest of the way. When it started the way that it did, I was thinking, wow, this is going to be like guns a-blazing, because the Vikings have done that before, especially your team last year, Verdorn. If Trayvon Benson and Grady Larson were feeling it, they could score 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes. But this is not the case in this offense so far, and we'll see what happens. And it wasn't the case at against Park Rapids last year. Well, Vikings fortunate to get 2 games in a row here at the beautiful Chauncey Martin Field. Look at that head out there. Perfect camera angle. That Viking head. They got the orange paint. Trevor Steves with the stencil job. Well done in the maintenance crew of Pelican Rapids today. As Carter Hurt runs back into the huddle here.
I may be a little biased, but I will say I think personally, we have one of the better fields.
And I really think, yeah, it's naturally such a great place to watch a game. You're in this kind of bowl setup where you as fans can be elevated to see the game a little bit better, right? Hurt over the middle, trying to make the catch, and does. Wow. That is 13 over the middle. That nice job, Dominic Pope hangs on again. Second time we've said his name. The first time was on that briefly muffed kick that he was able to hang on to. Once again, Pope proving he can take a hit and hang on to the rock. Nicely done. But yeah, I mean, this field, beautiful. And Trevor Steves and the rest of the maintenance staff here at Pelican Rapids really do a great job of maintaining it all summer, giving it the proper love and care, the touch, love, and care, like they say, the TLC. Yeah. And I don't know, Andy Johnson. It might be looking better than the baseball field. I'm not going to say anything about that.
Don't let him hear you say that.
Oh, run up the middle. Carter Hurt stumbling up there, running up, and almost getting a first down of his own. 9-yard bumble and stumble there from Hurt. That's going to be a gain of, well, they're going to say 8 now. It's almost a first down.
Look like they're doing some hurry up here.
Yeah, they're trying to go no huddle. Pope comes back in, a little semi-huddle offense, you could say. Pope at the top of your screen. Bottom of your screen is Caden Gartner. They're going to try and run it with Hurt yet again. This time he is stymied right in the middle there. Coming in is Bricker Haugrud, tackle for a loss, along with Edwin Escobar on the ground. Nice job by Escobar to blow up that line, and then Bricker Haugrud from the linebacking area coming up through the hole and taking down Hurt.
I will say defensive linemen are your best friend if you are a linebacker. If they can take up blockers, they make your job so easy. And this D-line is big. They are some big fellows. Yeah,
really nice job, Edwin Escobar, Roscoe Stubbs in the middle. And that's something to note is football's so much about doing your job, right? And Edwin Escobar is not going to get credit for the tackle there, but he did his job to perfection to allow his teammate to do their job, which is take down Hurt. And it's 5 wide going into this third down play. And not before some laundry comes in the backfield for a delay of game. So we got our camera angle all over that official and the back judge there showing delay of game. And now they're back to the snap here, and there comes back the camera. I was going to go shove our student cameraman Jaden Peterson down there to get it on the field, and dangerous deflection up in the air there.
Hospital ball there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was up in the air by Caden Gartner. The high pass tipped up. Checo D'Souza had a chance, but it falls, fortunately for Park Rapids, to the turf, and it will be now 4th and 10. And I brought up the student cameraman. Let's just mention here, Verdorn, you're not far off of being a student, now being an alumnus, but this channel, too, is a student-run media production here with Jaden Peterson, Ebe Sarich as our 2 main cameraman. They're under the direction of Mr. Kerry Haugrud, longtime social studies teacher and video man here in Pelican Rapids. And what a deep ball. 4th and 10. Here's a pass. Caught!
Just, I think, on the 1-yard line.
At the down inside the 5. What a gutsy play on 4th and 10. All the way down to Gartner. Hurt.
What a throw.
That was like an Aaron Rodgers running to the left off his side foot toss. Sorry if there's any Packers fans watching, or I don't even know what I'm saying. Vikings fan. I'm a Vikings fan. I'm sorry to bring up Aaron Rodgers, but the Vikings haven't had any quality quarterbacks to make this comparison. But anyway, great toss.
Stuffed.
And now getting a couple, so it goes from the 3 down to the 2, maybe the 1. Is Park Rapids. They did get stuffed. They kept it out of the end zone. The Vikings did momentarily, but wow, what a momentum changer. I thought the Vikings were going to be able to get off the field again. Now they're in danger of, losing this lead, potentially taking a deficit now. Park Rapids might score a touchdown here. Hurt under center this time. Going to do a quarterback sneak. Not quite the Philly special. No push from behind. Doesn't matter. Touchdown, Park Rapids. Carter Hurt does the job himself with 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It's 7-6. Pelican up 1 on Park Rapids. They're going to try and equalize or maybe take over that score on this one. I see Hurt, who might be the kicker too. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to speculate on what they're going to do, but
looks like they're it looks like they're going for 2.
Yes, based on what formation they come out with, they're going to do a under center once again, single back formation, tight end in the back here. They're going to it's going to be a misdirection, end around, it's not a touchdown, 2-point conversion, good. Corbin Schiller taking the end around on the right side, cutting up. And Park Rapids now with the advantage, 8-7, 37 seconds to go in the first quarter.
I will note the Pelican Rapids box defense inside that box is very big, very strong. They have done a great job up to this point in the game.
Absolutely. They've really done a great job in general, this Vikings defense. That's why it's so shocking, was the chunk play, the beautiful throw by Carter Hurt to all the way down there to Gartner. That came out of nowhere, really. I mean, Hurt has been shown as formidable passer, but for him to be under duress, running to his left, he threw it up, and I was kind of thinking, wow, they're going for it, they're passing. I kind of was sleepwalking up here in the booth, to be honest with you. And meanwhile, basically a touchdown put them right on the doorstep, and then they just played power football in. And as a defense, you play so well for all these plays, seem like you're going to force a turnover, force the end of the possession, and then Park Rapids with one big chunk play now finds themselves winning this game. So Vikings kind of punched in the mouth here. Let's see if they can respond. Kickoff, Squibby down the middle, 54, Brady Hurt. That is Brady Hurt who did the kickoffs there.
You find that Urban Dictionary or what?
Yeah, well, I don't know what that was. That was some kind of thesaurus, you could say. The junior Brady Hurt. Gets that down there. I don't know what that was. So anyway, the Pelican Rapids is going to get the ball back at the 38. Decent field position off a kickoff, but now without the lead, right?
Yep.
What a game changer. Everything felt like they were in control, and just like that, instead of leading after the first quarter like they did last year, this time they're down 8-7.
Looks like this game's going to be an absolute shootout.
Yeah, we'll see. Larson, handoff, Haugrud. This time he finally has space, moving to the left, and another flag here. And so Haugrud pops off a big one, tackled by a host of Panthers. He never actually got taken down, but they're going to call a holding in the backfield, and Miguel Torres can't believe it. He's there trying to politic with the refs over there, wondering what is going on, and it looks like it might be a hold on him back right by the original point of contact. After a gain of 3, they're going to send it back. So I think it's 10 yards from the spot. It'll be first at 17 now for the Vikings.
What an effort by Birkerhauser, though.
Absolutely, and it would be hard to see from this camera angle, was that Torres hold? And you know how, in football, it's like so many times there's holding happening, and sometimes the officials will specifically call it when it's like at the point of that changes the outcome of the play, right? And so I believe that was deemed then, hey, there definitely was probably a little tug there, and so it's just a matter of would that have changed the outcome of the play or not? Grady Larson gets absolutely smoked in the backfield there. Number 52, Jaden Davis. That is a big man for a sophomore inside, smoking Larson there, tackling him back at the 30 now. Vikings keep going backwards. Now it's 2nd and 18.
Speaking of Pelican Rapids, it's weird seeing number 12 out there, Jack Welch, after doing cross-country for all those years, coming out senior year.
Absolutely. Really exciting for him to make a choice that he enjoyed. He's been seen on both sides of, that's what happens when you get an athlete that is that good, right? He's the type of guy going to play at Concordia St. Paul next year for basketball. And now we're talking about 2 sports that don't even have to do with basketball. And he's highly sought after, and the football team's happy to have him here. And they're going to need him in the second quarter. They're down 1. They're going to reset the clock to 12 minutes. Park Rapids 8, Pelican Rapids 7. Vikings trying to answer that touchdown from Hurt. We're going to take a break here at Channel 2. We'll be back in a couple minutes for the start of the second quarter. And what was the quickest quarter break I've ever seen. I couldn't even get a sip of water up here. It's Grady Larson now heading to the north here. Empty set back. Going to take the snap here. Looking over to his right. Watch out. Blind side. He is smoked. Going deep. Oh, unable to complete down there to number 18. Is that CJ Fay streaking down the field?
It looks like number 12.
Oh, that is Jack Welch.
Yep.
Oh, yes, the big, tall Welch here, 6'7". They were trying to find him as we shrug our shoulders, juggling left and right. Jack Welch, we just mentioned him, Verdorn. It's almost like Coach Beachy heard us yapping about Jack Welch down here. He said, let's run the 9 route to number 12, and Larson paid the consequence, but they tried to get their own Hail Mary.
Oh, we had some laundry I didn't even see.
Well, so there is a flag, and we're trying to figure out what it is. I can't really figure it out. It's second down and – does this make any sense to you, Verdorn? It's second down and 3. Was it holding?
On the
defensive holding?
But that was wasn't that
But
the
you
first play
wouldn't
of the
lose
quarter?
it down. That was first down. So I can't figure out what's happening. And I think there's confusion all over. I don't – okay, now they're going to blow the whistle. It was first down. It should be first down. I don't know what's happening here. But right now we see second down on the chain gang. They're going to flip it to first, I believe. Yes, they do. Okay, but it's first down, and they reset the chain. This makes so much more sense.
I'm assuming with that roughing the passer, if I had to guess.
You would think so. I wasn't sure.
It came back from the back, Judge.
That's my wonder is it was a huge hit on Larson, and I don't know if they're saying he got an extra step in there before sending him down. That makes sense to me. I was not aware that roughing the passer was a spot foul. I kind of thought that was 15 yards from the original line of scrimmage. It looks like it makes sense to me if it would have been a spot foul and then added on. I don't know. Whatever happened, we don't know. We don't really care right now. We know it's second and 10, Vikings on their own 45, and this is where we need some sleuths. We need a spotter. We need like an informant down on the sideline. We need a sideline correspondent, Verdorn.
Yeah.
You know any other class of 2025ers who could come down and be our little sideline correspondent?
I'm sure Brody Severson will come down on the
Yeah,
Fridays.
Concordia Cobber runner now, Brody Severson. Let's see what Grady Larson, his old basketball teammate, can do out of the shotgun. Looks like Checo D'Souza motioning out to the left. They're going to keep it inside. He stiff arms one man, drags him for a while, but he's finally taken down by Braden Price, the senior, able to hang on to Larson and go for a ride of 4 yards after contact. Nice gain for Larson, gain of 7. Going to bring up third and manageable here. And that's where I think Larson has really matured in his game, is some power running. And he was not 100% most of the year last year with a little bit of hip injury. And he was working through it, and I've been talking to him in class. It seems like he is feeling really good lately. You know, obviously you take your little licks in football. You might be sore here and there, but he's been feeling a lot better. And this time it's a misdirection. They're going to pitch it out to Eisman. Park Rapids is all over it, and it was a nice play by Eisman to get back to the original line of scrimmage and actually get one. He was tackled there by number 4. That is Caden Gartner.
Ran a country mile to gain 1 yard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great effort.
Fortunately so, because Park Rapids had a host of white jerseys down there. There were 4 guys in the backfield, and Eisman able to make a couple miss to just get 1. And that's going to bring up, instead of 4th and 5, where you have to dial up a pass, Vikings have options here. 4th and 1. Are they going to go power with Bricker Haugrud? Is Larson going to keep it, or are they going to go deep? They're going to pass it. Quick out to Eisman. He did not catch it. Incomplete. Gartner on the defense there, and that's hype time for Park Rapids. They come running off the field. all kinds of words to be said over there, too, to the bench. The excitement is there. Turnover on downs. Park Rapids going to get it with great field position on their own 46-yard line.
I will say, playing Park Rapids for 3 years now, it is a very physical game. Words will be said.
Well, it's a lot of fun,
hard,
yeah.
hard head football.
And that's pretty much football, right? I talked to a lot of coaches in general about football, and it's really funny to be like, to have an effective team, you kind of need a crazy person out there, right?
Oh
and like it's one
Shout
of those
out
things.
Channing Russman
Yeah, that's exactly the name that got brought up is the class of 2025. Channing Russman, one of those guys who's just going to go in, be incredibly physical. Parker Hunter gonna stop me talking about nonsense and score. Go the distance. Parker Hunter, 54 yards and 6 points for the Panthers, 14-7. The team in white leading here on homecoming night. Wow, that is a showstopper right there. Parker Hunter, the aforementioned, talking about how he was going to be all over this game, and he was right there. Nicely done. And number 6.
Explosive play. Absolutely explosive.
Yeah, and that was exactly what we were talking about. Is the Vikings had them bottled up to begin, but their experienced, skilled players in backfield can cause problems when they get space. Hunter just had a little bit of it with a big seam in the first level. The second level was crazy. Hurt, slant pass, caught, Gardner, not touchdown, 2-point conversion, good, 16-7. Now Park Rapids up by more than a score. 2-score game now. Park Rapids once again able to block the Vikings counter and land another big punch. The Vikings here on their heels in the second quarter.
One thing about this team, like we said before, they won't back down. They will keep fighting until the final whistle is blown.
Absolutely, that's what a program is going to continue to do. It looks like, sorry, there's a coach down there. Did you see that in the far right side of your screen? We got a coach over there from Park Rapids doing push-ups. I'm thinking push-ups for how many points they score. I'm not sure, but he looks pretty buff, so I think he'll be able to handle the challenge. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking about good program. You just can't quit, right? And I mean, the game's never over. You could say the game of life, Verdorn, is never over until you decide you're going to quit, right?
Yep.
So let's see what the Vikings can do. They need to continue to fight to get back in this game. And looks like they are going to bring out Brady Hurt one more time.
This is a good spot to bring it back, get some energy, get some momentum.
Absolutely.
Special team starts the game. That's if you have a great special teams play, that's a good way to start the game.
And Ethan Eisman has the juice to do it. We'll see what he can do. Makes a man miss up the middle. Now he scoots forward, and a little danger there. Taken down by Gartner, but the Vikings get it to the 44. They're going to have a nice breathing room to start. And, yes, anytime Eisman touches the ball, he's a squirmy guy. Strong kid. I mean, I shouldn't say squirmy, right? He's very agile. He's a perfect dual threat as far as power, but also a little bit of shiftiness.
Adam Thielen in the making.
Kind of low to the ground. Honestly, it's one of those things, yeah. And there's some head nods. Adam Thielen really, I could start just talking about Adam Thielen. This is a guy who's Division II, right? Adam Thielen wasn't an insane player in high school. He went Division II, but the amount of work ethic that he had, and he just has the shifty metrics, but yeah, Adam Thielen, 1 in a million type of work ethic and grind to continue to do all the right things to make a career out of it. And
Beachy calling the timeout before the flag came in, because it looked like one of the wide receivers moved as there was another motion going. So he called the timeout, but right before the flag
sure,
came in.
good eyes by Beachy to see two people in motion at the same time. That is not illegal motion until the snap is called, right? So nice decision by Beachy to burn a timeout here, because you can't have the start of your drive start 1st and 15. That's just too costly of a start. So nice find by Beachy, and there's a little bit of fire in that huddle now after that. So Vikings have gotten a couple drives burned down because of penalties, and they cannot afford to do it again. They got punched a couple times. Now's the time to get momentum. You can continue to fight, but if you don't see momentum at these stages, things can get a little sketchy. And that could get back to one of the keys to success from Beachy. I know I've been talking a lot. win the first 4 minutes and the last 4 minutes of each half. We are coming into the halftime session, so right before halftime, we really want to see a strong effort from the Vikings. Bricker Haugard looked like he almost got either horse-collared or face-masked there momentarily. Someone grabbed his jersey, I believe, high on or somewhere up there, and clotheslined him, who knows. I cannot see from this angle, but no harm, no foul. It's just a 1 yard gain. Haugard continued to grind to get past the line of scrimmage.
You will see him falling forward more often than backward. He's always trying to get those extra yards as much as possible.
Absolutely. So nice grind move there to keep it from a tackle for loss. Aiden Checo D'Souza comes in for him. As Larson now out of the shotgun, Checo D'Souza left. Looks like he'll go out to the flat as Larson looking to find him over here. And a huge hit up the middle. Checo D'Souza hangs on. Short gain of 2, but Gartner with all kinds of things to get excited about here. Nice play by number 4 in white. Really just stomping Checo D'Souza here after a little toss to the flat.
It's always rough seeing those younger kids get those kind of
Well,
licks.
you know, you can say that. Checo D'Souza is a sophomore, so nice to see him with the talent to be playing at this age. But, you know, he's getting older, man. It's one of those things you all of a sudden look up, and these guys are sophomores, juniors, seniors. Larson this time over the middle, finding, had an opportunity to get Torres, and it goes through the hands of Torres, and he's frustrated about it. And it's incomplete. Vikings going to have another 4th down. We'll see what Beachy decides to do. It looks like special teams are they're starting to make some significant changes. Larson comes off the field. Torres going to punt. And
special teams is a good way to get some younger kids to get some experience.
Absolutely. It looks like we have a host.
We got a freshman over there, number 11. I believe he's a freshman, Brenner
Fredrickson. See, you've been away from the game for a while. He's a sophomore. See, I know how that goes. You're a student. You see people as freshmen forever. They're sophomores now. Torres, the senior now. Can you believe that?
Jeez.
Kicks it high, weird bounce. Almost bounded into a Panther there, but it is touchdown by Brenner Fredrickson. And so glad you could put Brenner Fredrickson's name into the universe so that we could mention, you manifest his impact into the game as he touches down that punt. As the Panthers take over once again, this time with worse field position. They're at their own 27, 28-yard line. So the Vikings defense playing very well despite 2 huge chunk plays. And we'll see what Hurt can do here. He's momentarily stopped in the backfield. He makes one-man miss, gets across the line of scrimmage, and falls forward to the 30. Gain of 1. Whole host of Vikings in there, including Miguel Torres, as well as a couple others. Hurt looking for a signal here. They're trying to run the play in here. Coming into the game is number 1. That is a name. Oh, yeah, I have it right here. Mason McCarthy. Where it's 4 down territory, certainly. And miss on that cutback. There wasn't many people on the left side of the field.
Football is just a game within a game. Every single play is another game. That's likely to win that game.
And every play you can hit a grand slam, right? You don't need to get 3 guys on base to hit a home run, 4-run home run. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
1 play is 6, okay? 1 play is 6. No, he'll just stay back off his back foot trying to make a pass happen, and Checo D'Souza hits the turf alongside Gartner. As that one was a dangerous pass. Could have easily been picked. Instead, it just hits the floor.
Fists are up, 4th down.
4th down. 4th down. Vikings force 3 and out after a rough situation with this fumbled punt.
Seems like they're really trying to pick on Checo over there.
Yes, I think they are, and that kind of can speak to how good. There's an illegal substitution here on number 52. I don't know if he didn't go in the huddle or what's going on with this, but you're going to back it up 5 more, may as well, I guess. 4th and 22, not like it matters too much. Punt is inbound. But I think that can speak to the strength on the right-hand side. You know, Checo D'Souza is a sophomore. I think they just see that on the scoreboard. They see Ethan Eisenman, dog, right? Miguel Torres and McLean Hovland, both senior.
What
The
a
toe
catch.
drag, nice. Over on that left side, if not for him being over there on the bench, getting work done by the by the training staff.
Yep.
You ever do that where, you try and make an extension tackle, he gets by you, you feel like you just got whipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right where it hurts. Wow, what a play, or what toughness here. Gardner still in the game. Once again, against Eisman here. Two left, three right. Vikings. I got to lean forward on this one. Eisman going at Gardner over there. 5-yard out, caught. Now the Vikings are back in a little rhythm, just like they were at the beginning of this game. Gain of 6 out of them in high school. A lot of running, but Barnesville's still sticking with it. They're sticking to their guns. They're going power football. Vikings have taken a different approach. They're going to air it out. You look at Grady Larson this season, 120 passing attempts, averaging 40 attempts per game. I think he threw it 52 times against Hawley. And so just unreal the amount of passes that these Vikings offenses is working with. And like you said, what a great change-up once in a while to give it to Bricker Haugard. They do right there. Left side, turns up a corner, makes a man miss, and runs through Gardner. Gardner does throw him down out of bounds. Nicely done, but not before a gain of 7. They needed 6, and it's inside the 15, I believe, down to the 14. The Vikings 1st and 10 into the red zone of Park Rapids. Motion by Eisman out to the right. They're going to try and get it to him. Heavy pressure from Larson. Able to get out of it, and that finds Eisman. Touchdown, Vikings. Wow, Grady Larson slithering out of that tackle and sack there from number 11, Corbin Schiller, and makes the Panthers pay. Touchdown, Vikings, 13-16. Pelican right back in
some
it.
Energy.
Absolutely.
That sideline's jumping up and down, getting the O's going.
This is a game, yeah, exactly what we needed. The student section all into it. The pep band about ready to play for halftime. Did the pep band play today or did they cancel it?
No, I think they canceled it.
Oh, I walked in too late. No, don't. It did rain. It rained all day.
Of all sorts.
It's okay, so do I. The Vikings are going to get to kick off here for the first time in a while. This has been...
That is the momentum they needed,
Yes, they needed it. And like Beachy said, win the last 4 minutes, win the first 4 minutes. And it's kind of weird. I think Beachy at halftime, Beachy will be like, all right, but don't forget about the middle the middle 16 minutes. Because first 4 minutes for the Vikings, like clean, focused on offense, catches, like touchdown. And then the middle 16 were penalties, turnovers, ugly football. So Vikings happy to be on the right track again. Salazar going to give it another big boom. Bang. Brought forward by, running over a man there is our man Gartner. Bad like shoulder and all. Did he run over Checo over there?
It looks like Checo.
Yeah. Well, Checo got him down, so it could be worse. He could have gotten trucked and then continued on, but Checo able to bring him down. And the Vikings are going to start on defense here at the 27-yard line. I didn't give it credit. That was that was kicked from the 40 to the 20. So that's a 40-yard kick by little Salazar there, Jimmy, the sophomore, and his older brother Danny, huge big-time wrestler for the Vikings. But Park Rapids, 4 receivers, 1 running back. They will hand it off to Parker Hunter. He'll grind forward for 5. Maybe just a little change up to test.
Elvin really threw to make that stop. That was a great play by the junior.
Nice play, Norton. He's a little shaken a little bit after that one because looks like and Vikings need to. I think that play to run right away there with 1:38 to go and ticking down is, hey, let's ensure that this is the last possession of the half, right? Because if you throw an incomplete pass, now the Vikings are starting to think we can get the ball back. They're going to try and play clock management here and make sure that they touch the ball last in this half. One more time, handoff. This time stopped right up the middle there. Going crazy inside. Harley Jacobson standing up alongside Bricker Haugrud, but it was mostly Jacobson running him back. All that weight room time is paid off. That is a big man inside. Taking after his older brother, Justin. Not quite as big in stature, but still a force inside, number 66. Homecoming. Justin, is he here in the stands? I don't. Oh, I see him down there. Yeah, orange sweatshirt, class of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 24.
20.
Throw
Great
it
play.
out on the sideline to Parker Hunter. Stopped over there. Who has made the tackle
Miguel
there?
Torres, a lot of energy. He's coming now.
Nice work.
Getting
Yeah.
his confidence back. That's good to see.
No, that was huge, and it wasn't. I think maintaining his confidence even through what was 3 faulty plays. Right, a couple drops and a fumble punt. Huge reason to check out, but Torres a confident man, a man who's going to stay poised, stay dialed. Got that big catch last possession. Now a huge 3rd down tackle, 4th and 7, and
what do you like to see? Is that going to be?
That's going to be the half. And so that's where the clock management comes in. Park Rapids does not let the Vikings touch that ball again. It's going to be a 10-minute break, actually longer. It's going to be a break of 15 minutes due to the homecoming proceedings. So they're going to set the timer to 15. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. All right, we should be back in business here as Park Rapids is squaring away to kick things off, and they have a lead going into this second half. Take a look at it. It's 15-16, the Vikings trail. So 1 point lead for Park Rapids as Brady Hurt is going to kick things off here. Verdorn, 2 halves for the Vikings. Started off solid. Well, 3 halves, you could say. Solid, then a middle doldrums with a solid punch at the end. Vikings trying to pick up where they left off at their own 40 as Checo D'Souza runs it up to the 39-yard line. They'll mark it of Pelican Rapids.
I would say that has been an issue that we've even, like when I was playing football, I know that's been an issue. Starting off strong, get a little bit of a lull, but then we come back. If we just gotta get rid of that lull.
Correct. Well, in any game, right? When you play, you have this. Basketball is the same thing.
Yep.
Games are runs. All of a sudden, a team will take the momentum from you, and some coaches say, "I don't believe in momentum." Well, you're wrong. That's all. No, I'm just kidding. You're wrong. The end. No, there is momentum, and the Vikings are trying to continue having it after a solid end of the first half. Larson, power football, running between the tackles there, falling forward for just a gain of 2 after a tackle there from number 65. Let's keep a look at the roster. It's Charlie Johnson once again, big man sophomore in there, getting that after a gain of 3, getting Larson to the turf. Maybe the Vikings going to try and get to the ground a little bit here. We'll see, right? It's been kind of a passing attack with the ground game being a counter. We'll see how much they rely on it. Bricker Haugard not in this game yet. It's Checo D'Souza to his right. But, bad snap. Larson's got to fall on it. Thankfully, he does. Sliding in to try and catch that there was Parker Hunter, it looks like, for Park Rapids. He cannot fall on it. Larson does. But gosh, what a little bit of a tough way to start your 1st and goal. Make it 2nd and goal, obviously, I believe from the 15-yard line.
Like we said, they got to stay grounded, keep their composure. Can't freak out too much. They are in field goal range, I believe so.
They'll be in a good spot. But those are the little plays, right? Those fumbled or not fumbled snap. That was a wayward snap that Larson able to fall on. He can't try and gash this offense here. No, they'll hand off Bricker Haugard. Haugard up the middle, makes a man miss, scoots through a couple defenders and falls forward for a gain of about 5. I'm taking a look here. Might have gotten across the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. That's where it'll be 3rd and goal now. Vikings had 1st and goal on the 3, and then 2nd and goal on the 13. Now 3rd and goal on the 8. 2 chances to get in the end zone. You got to wonder if this is complete 4-down territory for a touchdown. This isn't the time to. I mean, Jimmy Salazar is competent as a kicker, has made a couple field goals. It'll be interesting. Let's just get the touchdown on 3rd down, Javi. We'll see. Larson takes a snap, gives it to, no, he keeps it, now shovels it out to Ethan Eisenman, trying to make a couple man miss, cuts back now, swerving forward, and the ref slips over there. Skirt! I don't know if we caught that on camera, but man, the official should have wore his cleats tonight. He's stuck in the those Reebok zigzags, and he was zigzagging all over, falling. What a beautiful sight, and it's, wow. I hate to make a joke out of a huge moment in the game. It's on the half-yard line. 4th and goal on the 1/2. Vikings out of the shotgun. Grady Larson looking to set it up quick. Miscalculated snap, and it's a false start. Vikings. Wow, they actually get away with that because the center bobbled the snap, and so everybody moved early, so it's a false start. And the Vikings will take that because otherwise it'd be a turnover on downs. So instead it's going to be 4th and goal from the 5 or the 6 maybe.
And do you wonder, do they take the points now or do they go for it?
Well, I think they're going to maybe go for it here just because they have a lot of confidence in this Vikings offense. So we'll see what happens. And also, just thinking about this game, right, if you don't get it, you back them way up. You trust your defense.
Yep.
But if you're Larson, you got to get in the end zone right now. We'll see. Take the snap as well as Eisenman going to the left. They're going to look left. Keeping contained, throwing through the hands there.
Tate Marriage, it
Tate
looked like.
Marich, number 6, looks like he had a chance. Kind of back shoulder zipper and unable to make the catch there. just a deflating play there from Pelican Rapids. Looked like 4th down and on the half-yard line, they were going to go power football. Grady Larson's going to try and drive it forward, and a bobbled snap situation created another penalty. Tough situation. They cannot get it on 4th and 6, and so we're back in business for Park Rapids. It's Carter Hurt trying to make things happen. He's bottled up by Harley Jacobson inside. Gain of maybe 2, maybe 3. 2nd down and a ways. Positive yardage for the Panthers to start. But huge stand by this team in white here. Maintain their lead, right? Pelican, now when you think about it, start of the half, start of the second half looked like they were kind of in control. And games are weird like that. Football games especially. One team can look in control, but with weird penalties and turnovers, maybe a team's still leading. And as Park Rapids is that is leading right now so far. Carter Hurt back to pass. Norton gives him pressure. Oh, he took a huge hit. And he was throwing it here. Their official is pointing at number 1 as the intended receiver. Indeed, Hurt able to get it away. Man, that looked like almost a safety there. One of the most meaningful safeties it would have ever been is the Vikings down 1 would have flipped the script and been up 1, but it's not, and so it's incomplete.
I think that's a big play regardless. Gives the D-line some confidence.
Huge play, yes, absolutely. They tried to run it there with Hurt, didn't get anything. They're trying to pass it with Hurt. The offensive line doesn't hold up. Defense all over him. And so in 3rd and 8, can you stop these Panthers? Don't let them move the chains. Keep the momentum on your side. They're going to go deep over here and jumping, and there's a flag on the way opposite side of the field. I think that's procedural. I'm hoping on Park Rapids it could be, yes, an illegal shift. So regardless of the play on the right side, they're going to decline it. And Ethan Eisman looks like he's shaking off a little stinger. But I thought Eisman, with his body language, thought there was going to be a penalty. But Eisman skied up to defend that pass, and there was some contact up there at the point of attack on the ball. Not enough to warrant a pass interference. But the illegal shift was declined. 4th and 8 now. Vikings take the loss of down. Hurt to punt it away. Out of his own end zone. Picks it up off the ground. Low bounding punt. Checo D'Souza catches it nicely after one bounce. And here he goes. And he scoots through the first level and falls down to the 15. Wow. Nice play. 25-yard return after a short punt of just 30 yards. Vikings right where they left off here. Way to do a job, defense. Keep the momentum on your side even after turning it over on downs.
And what a game Checo's having right now. Honestly, with his stats so far this season, his first full game, it seems like.
Absolutely.
And he's making a big impact with plays on defense, plays on offense, special team plays.
Yes, the sophomore, Checo D'Souza, turning out to be an animal in this game, right? Been picked on the defensive end, played nicely at the defensive back position. Couple gasher runs, now a couple nice returns. Larson hands it off to Bricker Haugrud. He runs through the first level, tackled by a host of linebackers. Schiller, one of them, after a gain of 7. Power football there from the Vikings. Keep moving forward, offensive line.
And I'll bring back. I might be reminiscing right now, but having Jack and Mark reminding me a lot of like Jahmyr Gibbs and.
Okay, Boomer, yeah.
Okay,
talking
Jahmyr
about
Gibbs.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
And now having 2 hard-nosed running backs.
Correct.
Not giving the defense breaks. Like they're taking one out there. Oh, we're gonna get a break with this shifty guy, but no, they're both hard-headed, hard runners.
Yeah, Checo D'Souza trying to be a hard runner right there, and he gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Park Rapids just as well. And I did bring up on the defensive end how many seniors were lost. Obviously, those players making a huge difference as well on the offensive end. And you're talking about the Kappingas in particular, Mark and Jack Kappinga. Just 1-2 punch. Right now, the Vikings are trying to develop that with Bricker Haugrud and Aiden Checo D'Souza, which it's exciting, right? Because you have Bricker Haugrud, who's a junior, Checo D'Souza as a sophomore, Grady Larson is a junior. All these skill players, save Miguel Torres, is an underclassman, or a non-senior, right? So Vikings have a lot to work with here. Low snap, handled by Larson. Driving forward is Haugrud. He needed 3 to get the first down. I don't think he got it. He might have gotten 1 or 2. Just 1. It's going to be 4th down and 2 for the Vikings.
they can get the first down without scoring a touchdown, which is big.
Yeah, that is nice here. They have some room to work. If they could get a first down, it feels like a touchdown would be imminent, but with the way things have happened with just stuff like penalties and of the mistakes of the sort, cannot say that, right? Vikings need to make something happen right here. 4th and 2. Can the Park Rapids Panthers turn them over on downs inside the 10 twice in a row? We'll see. Larson, handoff. Haugrud gives him a push, runs through a tackler and into the end zone. Bricker Haugrud. Vikings for 6.
Love the little push by Grady. Gave him a little extra boost.
Give him a little encouragement, little tap.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you get in the end zone there, boy? He does. Very nice. Bricker Haugrud, strong running, able to keep those feet churning. 21-16. Now Vikings trying to tack on an extra point.
They sound like the fans are starting to get into it now.
Absolutely. Heard the rumbling of the seats, and they got to make some noise. Otherwise, all they're going to hear is me screaming out the window. I don't know. It's a nice warm day, so we have this window wide open. On some of the cooler days, we have this window barely cracked so that we can yell at our cameramen to quit trying to warm their hands and get to work. Larson gets a snap on this 2-point conversion, takes a huge lick from Parker Hunter, and he's in. Nice strength from Grady Larson, the Bull, and he's excited. Look at him zoom across here. I'm trying to figure out what just happened. The way he was running, I thought maybe he came up a little. That was awesome. Grady Larson with a little bit of energy for his team, letting them know how big that was. And that was a huge 2-point conversion because that makes it now 7 points. Park Rapids is going to have to convert on their end to take a lead here if they ever score a touchdown.
That play right there reminded me of Kurt Warner back in the day, taking a leg, getting up, just yelling all.
Yeah, zooming.
That fires you up when you see your quarterback take a leg and come back up chirping.
Absolutely. Just what they needed was that extra push, right? If Larson doesn't get that 2-point conversion, it's 21-16. Now a touchdown. They don't need an extra point.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden that makes that significant 2-point conversion. Jimmy Salazar yet again here kicking, this time southward from the 40 down here towards Parker Hunter. And that's a good, solid kick. Sends Hunter to his back pedal. At the 15, he catches that, and he's looking to move forward. He does. Nice return after a very nice kick. Hunter brings it up across the 30, down to the 33-yard line, and Panthers have been pretty slow offensively of late, but they've had a couple big chunk plays which have gotten them out of it. We'll see if the Vikings can avoid those here as they trot out on defense this time.
Park Rapids defense has really held their own.
They really have, and the only things that have led them to failure is the chunk plays, right? They let Hunter get loose for a quick 54-yard hit. They also had a deep ball that Hurt was able to find Gardner on. Gardner looking like he's pretty healthy now. Look at number 4. He's recovered some from that shoulder injury he sustained earlier in the first half. It's good to see him in the game. Important to note, we mentioned Jaden Whalen not playing for Park Rapids. We haven't said anything about him since the very early goings, but having a senior like Whalen not playing for your team has had to be an adjustment for this Park Rapids Panthers. They're doing serviceably without him because of Gardner stepping up and the like, but Park Rapids still trying to get things going. This time, a gain of 2 on their first down run. Man, football is just a game of attrition, isn't it? Just all kinds of injuries, and then even if you're not quote-unquote injured, you're taking nicks. Like
always hurt,
every
always sore.
What's the worst day? Is it Sunday when you wake up? Is it Saturday?
Saturday.
It's just Saturday?
Saturday is the worst day, in my opinion.
For sure.
Especially having to go to work at Thea's Pumpkin Patch.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Thea's Pumpkin Patch. I guess the first advertisement is free. Carter Hurt bobbles the snap, kicks around, and and he falls down for a loss of 7. Good news, Vikings, 3rd and 15 now. And very nice, very nice. 3:02 to go in the third quarter, 23-16.
It's always good to see that just like that play, They made the play. Teammates going there, giving each other high fives, smacking each other.
Absolutely. The Vikings offense has seemed to be here and there, but this defense has been in sync all night. Let's see if they can get a stop on third down. Norton coming around the edge, but it's Hurt going deep. 9 route over here. Gardner caught. He keeps his feet. He stays in bounds, and he's going. Can he catch him? No, he cannot. He gone. Caden Gardner. What a catch. Tiptoe the sideline over the top of Aiden Checo D'Souza, and a huge chunk play comes up again for Park Rapids. 23-22. Park Rapids trying to take the lead yet again.
I feel like we've said his name once or twice.
Woohoo! And he came back with a bad shoulder, and we've kept talking about Checo D'Souza. That's the target. They've been saying, let's try and press it against number 1, and Checo D'Souza's been doing good. It's like good defense there, better offense.
That was just
right?
a great play.
Good defense, better offense. You couldn't say it better. Big touchdown there from Park Rapids. And like you said, it is going to be a shootout. It is. We're only in the third quarter, folks. It could be anyone's game. Hurt falling over, incomplete. Vikings maintain the 1-point edge. Turns out Grady Larson zooming out of that 2-point conversion was significant. Vikings with a 1-point lead.
Can't
Wow.
ask for a bigger game to have a debut
Cannot
on
ask.
Channel 2.
No, this is, well, yeah, that we did have the Holly game right here in this first game. Andy Johnson had the call here, but this is my big, your big debut. This is your big debut. This is my big debut for the season. And, yeah, exactly, 23-22, 2:30 on the game clock of the third quarter. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. When I look at that scoreboard, it's too perfect. There's only twos and threes. That's all I see. 2, 3, 0. It's kind of I'm just a numbers guy. We'll just call it that. Yeah, there's nothing you need to say. Just laugh it off. We'll talk about the next thing. Crickets. Absolutely crickets. There's somebody out there that knows me well enough to give me a little bit of a petty laugh after that. There's no palindromes on there, is there? JP watching? All right, here we go. 54. Number 54, Brady Hurt. Another nice, this is a nice end-over-end kick, but it scoots through both guys momentarily. Ethan Eisman, who's been dangerous, was just going to slip this time, and he'll go down just across the 20. Fortunately, gets up with no issue, but frustration is the only thing he carries right now. Just past the 20 to the 21. That was a great kick, just in no man's land. Got the Vikings pinned back a little bit.
One of the better kicks that he's had.
Absolutely, well, yeah, and it looks like, it's pretty common, and this is the same thing with Jimmy Salazar. Low line drive kicks sometimes if you miss it, it's just par for the course. That was the best kick that Brady Hurt has had, and it might have been the best kick of the game period, just being in the right spot, pushing the Vikings back. They're in bad field position to start. Larson takes a snap, hands it off Bricker Haugard. He has room on the right side, runs through a couple guys, falls forward. Exactly what you're talking about there, Verdorn. What looked like was going to be a 3-yard gain all of a sudden turns into a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3. Haugard kind of ran through 2 tacklers there. Andy Johanning, one of them, number 7 there to try and clean things up, but Haugard able to keep the legs churning and fall forward for a few more after contact. Larson, high snap, able to handle it, all kinds of pressure, just flicks it out to Torres, and dangerous pass. Torres did not catch it, but for the Vikings, it's a good thing that Carter Hurt didn't have a beat on it, because if he would have, right on top of the Viking head, could have been a pick.
Yep. That's one of the balls that makes you hold your breath as a fan.
Could have been a pick. Just the fact that, first off, he's able to flick that ball out there 30 yards on his back foot with pressure. Impressive. But we haven't talked about Larson, and the announcer, it's hard when the announcer brings up stats. He has 6 picks this year, right? He's got 2. He's averaging 2 a game. Larson has avoided the pick to this point, and now we can knock on all kinds of wood right behind us here on this door. Grady Larson here, better snap, handoff Haugard. Haugard runs forward for a few, nice churning Bricker, 4 yards. He needed 3, got 4, moves the chains.
He will not be stopped just
Absolutely.
on arm tackles.
And you know how running game goes, right? As you get later on into the game, it's easier to be an offensive lineman than it is a defensive lineman. You just try and wear down these players. Both of these teams are kind of playing both sides, right? These front linemen. So the Vikings offensive line getting some wins right now, and that could pay dividends as we get into the fourth quarter.
Now Pacheco's. Oh, not Pacheco. Sorry, I'm getting confused.
Pacheco. Aiden Checo D'Souza
Checo.
beside, and a bunch shotgun formation. This time, straight drop. Larson, pump fakes, finds, it looked like C.J. Fay over the middle, right off his chest, into the ground there.
Talk about slinging it.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I think there was a little bit of misdirection. It was hard to see for Fay. He just didn't quite catch a glimpse of it, and so it goes off of his chest to the ground. That drop is significant, 2nd and 10 with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. And Vikings have been churning pretty well, but they have lost a little bit of that tight execution that we've seen from the offense in the first 11 minutes of this second half. Eisman in motion to the left. They're going to find Eisman on a little swing route, and he cannot get it here. Larson led him a little too far, trying to make a shoestring catch there. Was Eisman, can't do it. And once again, 2 incompletions, going to bring up 3rd and 10 here. They need all of 10 yards to get a first down.
57 seconds left in the quarter. Oh my goodness, this has been fast. This has been a fast quarter.
Yep, exactly. And they both teams have kind of went back to the running game a little bit, and there's been some more completions, right? So that's chewed some clock quicker, and that's how things can happen. Larson, empty backfield this time, back to the well, trying to throw it deep, needs it, catches Marich. Nice find, Tate Marich. Good for needed 10, got 20. Tate Marich moves the chains. Huge play by him. He's able to redeem himself after what would have been a great catch over here, but on that 4th down, he had an opportunity, could not make the catch. And now he is able to get a dagger for 20 to move the chains. Vikings needed it. Huge play for them.
It's tough for the defense to come back after that, thinking you got him down, pinned back, going to be your ball, and now it's going to be hard to bounce back.
Larson, shotgun, back to the right, finds Eisman over the middle. He's going to do a quick try to get on the inside, but Parker hurt too strong, could not get around him. 3-yard catch, and so short gain, but better than an incompletion. Eisman taking a little bit of punishment for a few yards. That's Heart of Lakes Conference football right there. And Vikings still moving. 2nd and 7, now into Park Rapids territory after that 20-yard catch from Marich. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So they're going to flip fields, head back to the north. And we're going to see who is the better PR in northern Minnesota after this quarter break. We got 12 minutes left in the game. Pelican Rapids 23, Park Rapids 22. We'll be back in a couple minutes. And they walk back out on the field here for the start of the fourth quarter. If you're just joining us or you lost the stream here and there, I can understand. The stream has been in and out. We've been having some technical difficulties up here. We appreciate your patience, and we really appreciate you being here for this game. Channel 2 is just the conduit for what has been a beautiful work of art from both of these teams on this football field today. Vikings up 1, hanging on to a lead, trying to drive to add to it. Grady Larson back to pass, empty backfield. Has a little pressure, but has time. Throws it forward to Tate Marich again for a nice gash of 10 yards on 2nd and 7. That's good for the chains to move. Now Marich got a couple catches here for about 30. And Tate Marich, that's a junior V if you're watching here. completely quiet the entire game.
Yep.
Now 2 big catches for a big chunks.
Yeah. Grady really getting confidence in his.
Correct, and I really think Larson likes that empty backfield.
Yep.
He's every time I've seen like him have a lot of success in the passing game, it's kind of been with this empty backfield. He's just doing really well. And
there's more options.
I don't know what it is, but he's doing well. And instead, this time he'll do power run, and he spinned out momentarily, kind of dangerously so.
You don't want your quarterback taking licks like that.
Well, just twisting and turning and everything else. It looked like it is 54. Brady hurt in the mix on that one. Probably had a shoestring, and a host of Panthers finally take him down. But Larson just unwilling, live by the sword, die by the sword. One of Larson's great attributes is he's going to be a hard man to take down, and if he has to take an extra lick, that's just going to be what it is. Larson, now once again, kind of empty here. Going over to the left, trying to find Torres too high. And so on 2nd and 10, trying to get it over to Miguel Torres. Flip over the down and distance. It is now 3rd and 10. 10:44 to go in this 4th quarter. A little time chewed off after Larson's run on 1st down. The Vikings are kind of stalled here, right on the edge of the not the red zone. They're only on the 30-yard line. So they need to get to the red zone in order to keep things going. There's a little bit of confusion on the Park Rapids side. Larson, empty backfield, tries to find over the middle. Tate March, this time no, but there is a flag in the backfield. I wonder if it's going to be a hold or a roughing. We'll see. Something in the back right at the end, either holding or roughing. We'll have to see what they call.
It was late. It was real late.
Very late. Yeah, holding offense. It looks like they're asking if they want to decline.
You were right.
And they are going to accept or decline. They're going to accept it. So instead of 4th and 10, it's going to bring up 3rd and 20, which I kind of understand. It's a field position game at this point, and Vikings are kind of in a goofy spot where why would you punt it away on your own 30? So it might be 4-down territory. So the Vikings have 2 chances to get 20 yards.
We have seen them convert though.
Correct. And Larson, the way he can gash this. Just throw the ball. They could get down to the 20-yard line, but they have to protect him. And another penalty. Looks like procedural. False start.
That's not what you want to see.
Another one's going to continue to send them back. And so now they're at the 45-yard line. Instead of being in the almost red zone, they're in the almost own side of the field. 45-yard line of Park Rapids.
Did you see who that was on? I didn't.
I did not. No, I did not. And so I think it might have been another one. Multiple guys maybe just moved a little early, and that's one where you know that they're coming for the quarterback. You want to try and get the best jump, maybe just a little quick jump. Once again, empty backfield. Bad snap. Larson does pick it up and just tries to throw it out of bounds, and he gets it at the feet of Torres. So fortunately, he's not in trouble. He did pay the price by Brady hurt. And so, promising drive, had 1st and 10, ended in a run of 0, couple incompletions, a holding, a procedural penalty, and now a flushed out incomplete pass, punting unit out. The game of momentum continues. The start of the 4th quarter does not go the Vikings' way. They chew 2 minutes. They're up by 1 point. Torres is going to punt it away.
Well, a stalled drive is definitely not what you want right now, but they still have the lead, and I know they have a ton of confidence in their defense.
Certainly. So the defense has been playing well. Torres with a nice punt.
Beautiful.
Can they drop it down inside the 5? It was then the 10, it looks like. Put it down at the 8-yard line. So beautiful punt by Torres. And that's probably a better outcome than what could have happened, which is a turnover on downs, right? They could have just as easily been 4th and 5, and then, or 4th and 10, remember? Mm-hmm. When you're 4th and 10 on the 30, what do? You have to go for it, right? And so then that could have easily been a turnover on downs. Instead, they do punt it. They get it down in there. It's a field position play, but now the defense has to respond.
But with the way the 3rd quarter went, how fast the time was chewed, it's tough to say because this drive could last for well over 6 minutes, and just because they're hard-nosed running.
And looks like another illegal substitution is going to be called here. Park Rapids has been shuffling guys in and out all game, maybe relaying the calls, stuff like that. And you see a discipline, maybe 12 men in the huddle or something, but it looks like number 3, frustration on his face as he walks to the sideline, going to cost the team, not just him, it's kind of a coaching thing, or not a coaching thing, but it's just an miscommunication thing to allow your team to get a procedural penalty such as this. Looks like number 3, that is Aiden May, the junior, who's kind of frustrated as if he was at fault. Hurt, handed it off to Parker Hunter. He is upended and then picked up kind of by, I think, Edwin Escobar ended up kind of catching him and taking him down. Nice run from Hunter. He started at 1st and 15, got 8, halfway there. It's now 2nd and 7.
But as I was saying, like that, they're doing some runs, and now they're chewing the clock down.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of time for that. But, that's what I was thinking. Hey, Vikings have a lead. It's good when the clock runs, right? That's just a fact. However, it's only 1 point. So all of a sudden, could you imagine if they have an absolute, killer drive where they chew and end in a touchdown? That could be a dagger.
Yeah, and that's where I was getting to it. They're just
sure.
It would be,
and it does seem like the most formidable running attack today, to be fair to all sides, has been Hunter over here. Checo ran him off. That's a pass interference.
Saw it once already today.
This was one that happened earlier in the game that Checo kind of face guarded and ran off Caden Gardner. This time it's going to be called. Checo D'Souza tag him with 15 yards. Not the end of the world. It's not like the NFL where it's a spot foul, but it will be 15 yards down. And, and so Parker Hunter's been the best running attack on the field today. Yes, Bricker Haugard's been great. Checo D'Souza's been great. But if you need a running attack right now, Parker Hunter's been doing great. The Vikings line has been the one thing to they've been winning the battles up front more than Park Rapids. So that's been the one equalizer of this whole situation. But we'll see what can happen. Clock is stopped right now at 8:39. As coming in motion, then out is Schiller. They're going to throw it over here to Hunter. Hunter makes a man miss. C.J. Fain, he's gone. Parker Hunter, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Panthers. 28-23, 8:27 to go.
With that touchdown now, for the Vikings, do you want to chew the clock as much as possible or go down to score?
Crazy. Who knows what's going to happen here? You got to get the lead back. If you're the Vikings, it's 28-23. That's all that matters. Vikings down 5. And we'll see what Park Rapids does. Do they have a kicker in their arsenal? Well, they wouldn't want to do that, right? It's 5. So, at this point, it's a 5-point game. They're going to want to make it a 7-point game. Absolutely. So they're going to do that, send out their offense. Carter Hurt is going to be right beside. And he'll look to pass, and there's nowhere to go. He's going to get bottled up. Blow the whistle, please. And they finally drop him down at the 23. Both officials kind of got in the play a little bit. That Carter Hurt got driven back so quickly that the white hat couldn't get out of the way in time. And so,
like we said before, Calvin Norton with that speed on the end.
Yeah, very nice pressure, and they needed it. Andy Johanning was the running back that took the fake there in the backfield, but Vikings were not fooled. They went right at Carter Hurt, and too slow of a developing play for them to do anything. That's a little victory for the Vikings after another chunk play bites them in the butt. So, 28-23, Park Rapids up by 5. If you're just joining us, it's been a crazy game. Vikings offense could be summed up by brief moments of pure execution, solid play from their skill players in line, and then a lot of penalties in between. Park Rapids could be summed up by a lot of slow churning plays with 4 huge chunk plays that have ended up in big scores. So Parker Hunter, one of those guys to be noted. Huge pass catch there for 70 yards about. A huge run for 56 yards earlier in the game. Caden Gardner's been a beast.
I feel like Tony Romo calling this game. Absolute shootout before it even happened.
It's a shootout. You did call the outcome of this game. It would be a shootout. The Vikings were involved in a shootout earlier in the season between the Barnesville Trojans and the, you know what I mean? It was 44-36, same type of game. And the Vikings are hoping to get on be on top by the end of it. And It's going to be Checo D'Souza catching this here, moving forward, taking a huge lick. Another Park Rapids style hit there by Joe Hanning. Nice play, but Checo is able to get ahead to the 40-yard line. Strong run there, takes a lick. Look at him kind of gingerly walk off. He's been, talk about dirty jerseys, his one might be one of the dirtiest for the Vikings down there.
If it was not black, it would.
Yeah, exactly.
If they were wearing the whites, it'd definitely be brown.
The white pants are quite brown down there. Now Larson, he's got two beside him now, between Eisenman and Haugrud. Hovland goes in motion. They hand off Eisenman. He hasn't taken many handoffs. Mostly he's been a guy to catch passes, but he does get a gain of 2 there. As Vikings now, the question was, do you chew the clock? Well, I think you just play normal football, right?
Yep.
You just play normal football because you're down 5. And so the main thing is you got to score, right? It would be amazing if they had a methodical drive that took 7 minutes and 59 seconds and ended up winning the game.
That would be ideal.
Yeah, obviously. But if they got a huge chunk play for 10 seconds and a touchdown, then we'll take that too. We'll see. Grady Larson's going to find out. And he's out of the shotgun. Takes a snap. Option play. Decides to keep it. Rolls forward. Schiller tackles him. After a game, when you need 3 yards, seems like a logical play. They give it to Haugrud to the left side. He drives up to midfield. He falls forward. They're going to give him the left side of, I believe, this line judge. Yeah, they're saying move the chains. Nice, gritty run there from Bricker, Haugrud, and
who got a little
Vikings changing a tune after being outside. Now, is it chilly out there, Haugrud? It feels outside. Now, is it chilly out there, Haugrud? It feels really nice here in the booth. Second and 10. Really nice here in the booth. Second and 10.
Sweating even.
Yeah, no, actually, I could use a little fresh air. Maybe because I'm talking so much. A lot of carbon dioxide in this room right now. Larson, deep drop straight, goes over the middle, finds Torres. Torres secures the catch, falls forward to the 35. Nice job by Torres. He understood how important it was to catch that. Did you notice that? As he's kind of limping off a little bit right now. But
slow to get up.
Little slow to get up, got help, and he's running off with a little bit of pain. But
here comes Jack Welch, the other Cena though.
Jack Welch is going to come in for him with the thrifty white pants.
he did have a great play against Barnesville. I remember that. Yeah, that was a big momentum swing.
Absolutely, but Torres, he is a guy who kind of looks ahead before he makes that catch. There, he ensured he caught that. Oh, fumble. Ball's on the ground. Huge moment. Checo D'Souza coughs it up. And who else but Gartner falls on it. All the air is out of the building now as Checo D'Souza coughs it. Gartner falls on it. And Park Rapids gets the ball back with 5:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Wow.
Oh, someone's cramping, it looks like. I haven't seen very many cramps this game.
We do have a cramp. We're hoping it's just a cramp on the floor, on the ground here. As looks like, I thought I saw number 64. It could be 54 Brady Hurd. I got to double check here.
Didn't eat his bananas.
As he's getting attention here from the medical staff. And it's number 65 who's able to get up without any issues. Charlie Johnson. We're glad he's able to work it out. Yes, it was looking like just a cramp, but yeah, you could see the pain he was in. And all he wanted to do was celebrate with his team, but there was so much pain there. He hit the deck, and he got out on to the sideline. And so, wow, what a change of events. Vikings had a lot of rhythm, pounding it on the ground. And Checo D'Souza has taken some huge licks today.
Yeah.
Huge hits. He's hung on every time. That time the ball just popped out. And
those hits do add up.
Yes, absolutely. So Park Rapids, it's not a fluke, and the timeout's going to be called by Beachy so we can talk about this play a little bit more. But I think there's 12 people in the field. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he just didn't like the look. So those hits add up.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Like you're sitting there and you're taking licks left and right on the biceps, and that time he had it tucked tight. He just got squeezed so much the ball popped. So that was a nice play there by Park Rapids. That defense all night has been very physical, and it pays off there with a key turnover.
And he's definitely shown that you have to hit him like that. Otherwise, he's just going to keep going.
Correct. Yeah, he's been a very, very good runner today in his, like we said, big debut, just like you and me. 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Nothing but really solid efforts from the sophomore, Aiden Checo D'Souza, but now it's 28-23.
Can't sleep on the O-line, though. They definitely – they give him looks. They give him holes, and once those holes open up just a smidge, Aiden can just slip right through.
The thankless job of the line, right? We have hardly talked about the line, and we need to more. The only time we ever talk about the line is when they move early. There's a false start by number 52, Jaden Davis, the sophomore. I can guarantee this is the first time we brought up his name.
Probably.
So I apologize, Jaden Davis, and all of the loved ones out there, but he did move early. False start left guard, 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15. And once again, out of the single back, if you are Park Rapids, you just need to chew a few good first downs in the running game, and you could put this on ice. Schiller tries to do that with an end around, and the Vikings are all over it. So huge stand for the Vikings defense now, making it 2nd and a mile. Wow, it's 2nd and 23, way back at about the 20-yard line.
Feels like momentum is definitely coming to right in the middle.
Yeah, oh no, it's hard to know what's going to happen here. Obviously, a turnover stops everything, but it's 19-yard line, so it's 2nd and 21. And it's funny how on a high school football field, 21 seems so much further than anything you've ever seen before.
Oh my gosh, it feels like a country mile.
And now a timeout by Park Rapids, so both teams have to chew a timeout. And I know Beachy was frustrated about the timeout he had to call early, right, because it didn't even stop the clock.
Nope.
And he only has 2 of them left, and now both coaches have 2 left, which will be a factor late in this game. If the Vikings can take a lead, then I'm sure Park Rapids is going to want their timeout back. But they call one now because they need to get the right play in. They really don't want to give the ball right back to the Vikings because they look like they have momentum other than this little fumble. They've been executing well today, other than penalties. But, yeah, both teams really have. And Park Rapids, for one, just –
it's the big plays.
Correct.
For them.
And a lot of that is execution, right? They've just executed perfectly on a few key shots.
When they needed them at moment.
Exactly.
Right time.
And the Vikings have really done a good job defensively to counter them, but if they have been napping one time or another, a hole opens up. And they have the guys, the players, like Hunter, that have made him pay with big shots down the field. And we'll see what they decide to do here, if they just continue to run the ball a second and forever, or if they're going to try and chunk things back to get a first down.
Pass here and then probably run it.
We'll see. Hurt takes the pass, or back to pass, going deep over the middle here, and nice defense from Checo D'Souza. It was 1v1, number 1. That is May working against, that's Mason McCarthy. Mason McCarthy, we have not called his name either in this game. The senior wide receiver went on, was that a little wheel route there? And he moved up the field, and it was Aiden Checo D'Souza this time on the right side, or our near side of the field, making a play. And maybe that's once again them finding the matchup, trying to pick on that sophomore. He's standing resolute. He's able to make a play even after the fumble. Once again, the confidence there, the resilience there. Under 5 minutes to play in this football game. Hurt setting up a screen this time. Parker Hunter with space. Can he get the first down? CJ Fay tackles him short of it.
What a play. What a tackle there.
Huge play, but now all kinds of options with just 2 yards short of the first down.
We've seen the defense stop him on short yardage too, and we've seen him stop on far yardage.
What a nice play call. Yeah, what a nice play call there by Coach Nordic, drawing up the screen. You know what I mean? I know we're talking about the next play, but they haven't run a screen all day. Usually screens, if you can kind of see it happening, you know what I mean? They're not that effective.
It looks like they're punting here.
Okay. They're going to bring out the punting unit for now. Vikings staying safe. Eisenman's going back. They are punting. Hurt sends it over the top of Eisenman. He bobbles it momentarily, but now has it on the far side of the field. Now he's coming across. Makes one man miss, then he's bottled up there. And he's taken down at the 34-yard line after a nice tackle from number 34. Who's not on my starters list. He's in the special teams. I got to get the full program to get the special teams players some love here.
Honestly, they have very good field position right now.
It's not bad. It's quite good for Pelican Rapids. And
you chew some clock. It's 4 minutes exactly. Chew some clock. Hopefully get a score on. And then
yes, absolutely.
Put the ball in their court.
I was very concerned about them going for that on 4th down, but I can understand if you don't get it and you're Park Rapids, now – the nerves and all the juices that flow from the Vikings of stopping them. Now they have to go almost the full field, 4 minutes. This is very similar to what Park Rapids was doing to the last year, and a flag is going to send this one back 10 yards. We'll see. This flag came all the way in from the back judge, or the umpire maybe behind the line. I'll have to double check, but that flag came flying in.
It's been a very clean second half.
Mostly, yeah. The Vikings have not been tagged with holds like they did in the late first quarter, early second quarter, but this one might bite them. Holding offense. Going to back the Vikings up 10 yards, 1st and 20 now. So costly timing there on that penalty. This reminds me, though, I'm just going to say one more time, of the game last year. Park Rapids had the ball a couple times in the 4th quarter to try and take the lead back, and they just never did. Down and down they went. Let's see if the Vikings can make a scare here to get the lead back.
Get some deja vu.
Yeah, Larson with time gets 30 down to the 42, and that's huge. Torres able to get 17. He's slow to get up again, just waiting for the pile to get out. He looks like waiting for the pile to get out. He looks like he's lost it, or like by that I mean he's really gotten smoked this game to the point where he's on his last breath. They're going to get a substitution in for him here. Jack Welch back in, Torres and CJ Fay out, McLean Hovland in. Clock continues to run, 2:38, 2:37. Vikings are basically making it known that this is going to be their last possession almost. Yep. They need to convert 1st down here, 3rd and 3.
Arguably
Larson,
the most important play of the game.
Hand off to Bricker Haugrud. Haugrud rolls forward, falls forward, up to the 45. Yes, they needed 3. They got 3.5. Right on the 45. Move the chains. Nicely done. Arguably the most important play of the game, executed by the Vikings.
Looks like he's a little banged up at his hand. He was holding his hand a
well,
little bit.
Haugrud's been dealing with a little bit of a hurt hand. He's holding his finger now, so he's out for this play. Larson moves up on
that's
it.
A catch.
Somehow Eisenman catches it for a gain of 7. Clock continues to move. Momentarily, it looked like Eisenman had popped up.
Try to get a snap.
Whew.
Try to get a snap before the.
This is high school. We don't have 2-minute warnings.
Oh,
watch out. Yeah. You've been watching too much college.
Yeah.
So Grady Larson, empty back, 1:50 to go. Empty set. Over here, trying to find Maric, and it's caught! Whoa. He turns up the field, and he falls out of bounds this time at the 30. Stop the clock! Woo! 20-yard dagger yet again. Yet again, Maric comes up with a huge dagger, gets him over 50 yards receiving for this game, and important to stop the clock if you're the Vikings. 142, yes, you have enough time, but it just was getting a little bit hectic here. Empty backfield, they will continue. The play clock was winding down. Finding Eisenman wide open over the middle. He's looking to the sideline. He'll turn up the field, though, and no one's going to tackle him. He'll fall forward inside the 5.
Chunk plays are the name of the game.
Chunk plays, they were everything for Park Rapids earlier in this game. The Vikings are feasting now, and they're inside the 5. 1 minute, 33 seconds, and now it might be Park Rapids looking to call some timeouts. Yes, timeout Park Rapids. With 1:33 to go, Pelican Rapids down 5, 28-23, looking to knock on the door and move themselves up 1 with a touchdown.
Yep.
And that's such an important 2-point conversion. You remember when over here Carter Hurt got driven back to the 20. All of a sudden, instead of a 7-point game, it's 5.
Yep.
Vikings don't need to worry about this 2-point conversion. I mean, it'd be nice to be up a field goal instead of 1 point, but there's no pressure on this 2-point conversion if
If.
yeah, I shouldn't. Don't put the cart before the horse. That's what that's what my grandma-in-law Mary Kay Haugrud used to tell me.
I thought it was always don't count your chickens before they hatch.
That's another one. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And so the timeout is called. It's a full timeout. They walk the waters out there. The water boy with the Bob Ross haircut runs back over to the sideline here for Park Rapids. And we'll see what can happen. It's not guaranteed yet. The ball is on about the 5-yard line. And Larson's going to take the snap, hand off to Bricker Haugrud. Haugrud, he's stopped by Parker Hunter. Hangs onto the ball, but loses a couple. Now it's second down on the 7.
We have not seen that hardly at all this game. Seeing Bricker go back for
and
loss of yards.
A part of it was a little bit of a bobbled snap and just not a perfectly executed play by the Vikings. But regardless, they have 3 opportunities to get it into the end zone. Park Rapids only has 1 timeout left, so they're not going to use it obviously until Pelican Rapids scores, and so.
It was very important that he held on to the ball there.
They use their timeout to get a regroup. And now there's 4 receivers right, 1 left. They're in bunch formation to the right. They're trying to find Eisman, I imagine. They do. Little pick play. He's down at the 2-yard line. Nice catch from Eisman, but he's dropped at the 2. And now a timeout's going to be called by, I'm sure, Pelican Rapids.
This drive reminds me back in the Super Bowl of the Rams and Bengals.
It's Pelican who calls the timeout.
It reminds me of the Super Bowl of Rams and Bengals when Cooper Clutch was getting on that winning drive there. Cooper Clutch.
Cooper Cup. You might, for anyone who doesn't know who Cooper Clutch. No, you're good. That's awesome. So I hear that, and that was. It's not a pick play technically, but you have those guys clearing all the men who are playing man-to-man out, and you have him stay underneath. And Eisenman so good at maneuvering himself where he can make a catch, angle his body, dive into the end zone.
Yep.
Caught that at about the 3. Great defense from Park to stop him there. He's at the 1.5, 2-yard line now.
Yep.
And so the Vikings have 2 chances to get it into the end zone. What do you do here if you're Coach Beachy drawing up the plays? Tony Romo for me. Call the play.
I'd say handoff Bricker, or it could be pop play for a tight end here.
We'll see.
Or even like a out route for Ethan.
Bunch set. Larson takes a snap, gives it to Bricker.
Is he in?
Ooh. Short. He's at the 1-yard line. Clock continues to run. It's 4th down, and now Park Rapids, I imagine, is going to call a timeout. You may as well, right? Because if you – wait, no, the clock continues to run. Never mind. 33, 32. Vikings have 1 timeout left. It's 4th down. Yeah, kick a field goal down 5. That makes sense. Yeah, we'll see what happens because basically now this is crazy. This may as well be a 2-point conversion. Now they're saying stop the clock. Who knows what's going on here? Understandable. If you're Park Rapids, you have to take a timeout, right?
Yeah.
Because if you stop the Vikings, then you basically, I mean, it's not a guarantee that you can knee it. You know what I mean? If you're that far backed up. But you have possession, game's over, hopefully, right? Unless there's some crazy fumbled snap, right? If you don't do this, then if Vikings score, it's over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to try and get time. So I think they're going to try and lobby for more time to be put back on this clock. But I see 22 seconds. We'll see if it stays there. If you're Park Rapids, at least if the Vikings score, then you might have 17 seconds or 19 seconds to work with something crazy on the kickoff or anything like that. So
fans are getting into this one.
And why would you not get into it? This is high school football on a Friday night. Homecoming. You have your team with a chance to win on 4th and goal. What can the Vikings draw up? Grady Larson, Bricker Haugrud. Handoff Haugrud. Tries to run up the middle. He's short. He did not get in. Park Rapids is going to take the ball back and presumably win this football game.
What a play by the defense.
What a play. What a set of 2 plays. You have the ball on the 2-yard line. You give it to your best back, Bricker Haugrud, twice, and Park Rapids able to make their stand, keep it short, and they're up 5. Unless there's some kind of a fumbled snap. They could even take a safety here. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
They have 16 seconds left. and victory formation, or they're just going to do a sneak forward, and that's going to be enough. I believe Beachy will call a timeout just in case. So Beachy's going to make them run another play here and execute it without a fumble.
But what an immaculate game that we've had
Wow.
so far.
I cannot, yeah. Like, yes, if you and I were Pelican Rapids alumni, we obviously want the Vikings to win. But as far as a game that you want on a Friday night, high-value entertainment, this is exactly what you got tonight. Grady Larson throwing the rock. Carter Hurt finding all kinds of just to remind myself so I say this right. Caden Gartner making all kinds of plays, tiptoeing the sidelines. Parker Hunter also on the ground and the air making plays.
Aiden Checo de Souza having a great game.
Great game from Aiden Checo de Souza. Minus, he did fumble, but he was able to bounce back. Miguel Torres dropped a couple passes, bounced back. Tate Marich with a couple nice plays. Hosts and hosts of players here on both sides that can really be proud with their effort and just, you know what I mean? Everyone here in the stands just happy to watch both sides play. So I don't want to say everybody wins, right? Because it's going to be clear after this victory formation, Park Rapids is going to come away with a victory. That's how it's going to be here as they're going to wind down the clock. 28-23, Park Rapids gets their first win of the season over Pelican Rapids. Vikings' next game is up at East Grand Forks next week. Our next home game at Channel 2 will be in 3 weeks, Friday, War Road, October 10th. You can find us at Channel 2 on Thursday of next week where we have volleyball against Perham. For all of us here at Channel 2, thanks for watching. Have a good night.